Welcome back, or if you're new here, thank you for checking this video out. Like always, my name is Alex Johnson, and the goal here is to help educate and inspire other people to live more meaningful and intentional lives as I document a journey and as I share things that I'm learning from life that have helped me out so far. So look, I just turned 24 years old, and I want to share with you guys some of the biggest lessons that I've learned so far in my life that have helped me out. And I think that these things can help anyone get ahead and to focus on the right things so that you know you are living life intentionally and doing things that are going to better yourself and better the people around you. So without further ado, here are the biggest lessons that I've learned so far that have really helped me out. So starting with number one, there's more to life than ourselves. Your 20s are probably the most selfish time period of your life, and that's okay. You're figuring out who you are. You're starting to appreciate nice stuff. You probably want to go travel and live your best life, right? That's the saying. You want to experience all that life has to offer. And now there's this thing called social media, and you want to share that with other people and flex on what you're doing and all this stuff and promote who you are. And that's okay. I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but it might become easy to start living just for yourself. And I get it. You want to do all the fun things that there is to do in life. And especially when you're in your teens and your 20s, that's the time to figure it out. And there's nothing wrong with these things, but it can become shallow when we start to focus on ourselves. Look, this is a nuanced statement because it is important to have pride in who you are and to become a good version of yourself by focusing on yourself and bettering, who you are so that you can help other people. But I think life does become shallow if we're only focusing on ourselves. And I think the goal should be to become so valuable as an individual that we can then look out and help other people. And I think that's ultimately the most noble thing that we all can be doing, no matter who we are, is become valuable to help other people. And in turn, that's how you get paid. That's how you become more sought after and how you become a better person and do more good in the world. And being a faith-based person, I've learned this lesson as I try to put God first and as I try to serve other people, like my wife. Obviously, being married, putting her needs before my own, that's when I feel the best. That's when I feel like I have this calling that, there's more to life than just me. And to wrap this up, I do think, like I've said, life can become shallow when we just focus on ourselves and think about ourselves too much. So this leads into the second lesson that I've learned, and that is the fact that money is not everything. Yes, you need it. You'll always have to work for it. And yes, I, of all people, would advocate for earning, saving, investing, and working hard to have an abundance of cash that can be used for good. But at the end of the day, money is just a tool. And yes, I mean, a lot of my personal goals are financial. And I think everyone should have those goals because that will make your life a whole lot better and bring a lot more peace to you and your family. And building a healthy relationship with it, as funny as that sounds, in your teens and 20s will help you become a better steward of it throughout your entire life. Money will come and go. And at the end of our lives, I do hope that all of us have a lot of it to leave to our loved ones and to family. But that's the important lesson to remember, is that we cannot take it with us. In my opinion, the love of money itself is when it becomes empty. When you become so obsessed with just having it and doing anything you can to get your hands on it without remembering the higher purpose that it serves, and just remembering that it's really just a tool that you can use. I have met a lot of miserable rich people, but I've probably met even more happy, poor people. And that's a lesson to me. And it reminds me that the most important things in life, you really can't buy with cash. You definitely can't change the kind of person that you are with it. You can't change your reputation with it. And what people will remember you for is not the amount that you had in a bank account. So yes, money is important, and I hope that we all work very hard for it to earn an honest living and to give our families and our loved ones a better way of life. But at the end of the day, money itself should not be where our heart is. There's really more to life than just money itself, and there's more that it can be used for than just the feeling of having it. And this brings us to lesson number 3 that I've learned throughout my life so far, and that is that health is wealth. Metaphorically and quite literally, optimizing for good health early on in your life will pay dividends in your life. It will help you earn more in your life. Taking care of your body early on and keeping it in good shape, I've found, will help you live a more full life. You'll live a life without as many limitations, and this will help you stay sharp and be more valuable to people mentally, physically, and in so many different ways, because you've mastered the art of being disciplined and taking care of your health so that that's not an issue anymore, so that you can focus on other things that are more important. Amongst all the successful mentors that I've met in my life, I have yet to meet one that is not in good shape, that is sloppy, that doesn't take care of themselves. And I've noticed a trend in people that are doing well financially or in their own business is that they're disciplined in other areas of their life too. They take care of themselves, and they know that there's so many benefits to optimizing for good health that they can't afford to not be in good shape. If you have the discipline to take care of yourself and be in control of your own health, then you'll probably have the discipline to take care of other things in your life and tackle bigger problems. All right, lesson number 4, change is good. Especially in your teens, in your 20s, you're trying to figure out who you are. And a lot of times you can't do this without a change in your environment. It's important to put yourself through new situations, to meet new people, to try new things, and do things that will make you uncomfortable. At 21 years old, you're not going to be the same person, hopefully, as you are at 25. And you shouldn't be. And it's important to lean into that. Let yourself go through different experiences, learn the things that you like and that you do not like, and try to come to the conclusion of who you are as a person and who you want to be as a person, instead of letting other people that maybe you grew up with tell you who you are. Everyone's situation is different, but I've come to believe that one of the best things a young person can do is move out as soon as reasonably possible. Go live life on your own terms and, trial by fire. Go figure out who you are without being able to lean on some of the people that you've always leaned on before in your life. And sometimes it's hard to kick old habits or form new positive habits if you don't change the environment that you're in. If you've heard the saying, nothing changes if nothing changes, that's 100% true. Don't expect different outcomes with the same inputs that you've had for years. You have to change if you want to grow and expand yourself. And we're not going to look back on life and wish that we had less experiences. Everyone's always happy that they went through more experiences and went through the change and learned from that. And I think that's very important if you want to become more in your life. So trying new things, putting yourself out there, and not living by some narrative that you've had of yourself, that's going to help you expand. That will help you become who you think that you can be if you have these big goals for yourself and if you want to become a person that you think you can be. Lesson number 5 as we wrap things up here is learn to love the work. If you're like me, maybe you've spent a lot of time trying to research what the shortcut is, the things that you can do to get ahead without putting in a lot of work. And the truth is, there's probably not a shortcut. It's important to learn patience early on. I see so many people jumping from one thing to the next before actually getting good at one thing because you think that the new flashy thing is going to be it for you. Maybe that's the shortcut and the thing that will bring you the most reward. But I don't think that's true. And it's important to understand that we're going to be working for the rest of our lives in some manner, some capacity. Maybe that doesn't mean working an office job. And obviously you want to be able to retire and to get out of that as soon as you can. But work is an integral part of life, and I think it's crucial to finding joy and finding the happiness and fulfillment that life has to offer. As funny as that sounds, as counterintuitive as that sounds, and as that seems, work is important. A quote that I want to share on work is from someone named Thomas S. Monson, and he said, "God left the world unfinished for men and women to work their skill upon. He left the electricity in the cloud, the oil in the earth. He left the rivers unbridged and the forests unfelled and the cities unbuilt. God gives to us the challenge of raw materials, not the ease of finished things. He leaves the pictures unpainted and the music unsung and the problems unsolved. that we might know the joys and glories of creation. Look, I don't think true happiness in life is found on a beach just eating grapes, not at work. I get it if you're in a job that you don't like and you don't like your boss or you don't like your coworkers, and maybe you're happier when you're away from them. But there's so much more to life, in my opinion, and there's a lot of potential that we all have to become more and to hit goals that are meaningful. And I think learning to love the work that you do and taking pride in that is a part of finding happiness in our lives. I think it always has to do with work. It's instead of living for vacation, I think, try our best to find the things that are meaningful so that we don't have to take a vacation from our life. There's no way around it. Life is always going to require hard work. No matter what stage of life you're in, no matter how old you are, there's always work and a grind involved in life. And there's going to be days that you don't feel like showing up, where you're tired, where it's going to be really hard. Maybe you don't want to go to the gym, maybe go to work or show up for your friends, your family, whatever it is. But it's important to just learn to love what you do, to understand that this is an opportunity for you to show up, to be the best version of yourself, and to push through that pain. No one's going to come to save you. No one's going to come do the work for you. And at the end of the day, that's what life is going to require, is that work. And it's important to show up and to do the best that you can. And that's where the pride is. That's where we can prove to ourselves who we are. Build a good reputation with yourself by loving the work and learning to push through and just do your best. Now listen, I appreciate you guys tuning in and hearing what I had to say. If you enjoyed this, if you got anything out of it, any value out of it, make sure to leave a comment, leave a like, make sure you subscribe so you can see the future content. If you agree or disagree, leave a comment. You won't hurt my feelings. But at the end of the day, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening to what I have to say. And I hope that you find success in becoming a better person and living life on your own terms. Until next time.